Welcome to the Don't Look podcast, where we're going to be discussing any topic that's horror related. I'm your host, Kevin.
And I'm your co-host, Ulises.
All right. So, with this week, so first off, how was your Halloween?
It was good. I spent it in class watching The Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
Which was fun. I mean, when I was younger, I was scared of The Wizard of Oz.
Really?
Yeah, I was scared of the lion.
Yeah. The lion, not the witch, just the lion.
No, I know some people are usually scared of the witch or the flying monkeys or the Oz himself, but no, when I was younger, I was scared of the lion. But it was just funny because now when I watched it, it was like my favorite character. So it was like,
oh, that's cute.
What did you do?
What did I do? So I had to work, but before that, I decided to make So I saw on TikTok these skull pizzas.
Oh, okay.
And so last year I bought a mold to put what's it called,
like the dough and stuff.
The dough and stuff, yeah. And to shape it, and then I just put pepperoni, cheese, and sauce inside of Then I covered them up, and then made skull candy.
Oh.
Not skull candies, skull pizzas.
What was it like? Did you make it from scratch, or did you buy
No,
dough?
I bought the dough from the toaster strudel dough.
Yeah.
That one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I just bought the ingredients, so
Yep.
it was fun. And then after that, I gave candy to trick or treaters.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I stayed outside. Just I brought in my Switch with me, and I was just playing Luigi's Haunted Mansion while I was waiting for trick or treaters to come and get candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but funny enough, while I was waiting for trick or treaters, I got locked out of my apartment.
Oh.
Yeah, because apparently my roommates decided to go out. One went to the gym to work out, and the other one just went and go wander around.
Yeah.
And and then when I realized that it was too cold to
be out there.
I realized, oh shit, I got locked out.
Yeah.
And I had to wait an hour for roommates to come back.
Yeah, it was a cold one.
Yeah, but
what was the best costume you saw from the trick or treaters?
Best costume?
Or the ones oh, that's cool.
What was it? What was it? I think a little kid was dressed as Luke Skywalker.
Oh.
No, wait. There was a kid that was being dressed as someone that was being taken by those balloon
the inflatable ones?
The inflatable ones. Someone was being taken by a scarecrow or something.
Oh,
I thought that was pretty cool. But other than that, I was kind of disappointed on the costumes because there were some teenagers that came and they were wearing ski masks, and I'm just I told them what are you supposed to be? And I'm a cop. Cops don't wear ski masks, my guy.
They just wanted that free candy.
Yeah, and then just some people just didn't even try. They were just we're here to get candy. I'm which, yeah, I don't know, it makes me sad.
Yeah, at least they tried.
Yeah. But anyways, so, Halloween's over. But the party went on, for us Hispanics, because up until November 2nd, we had Dia de los Muertos.
Yes, we
right?
did. Yes,
we did. And so, in this episode, we celebrate Halloween last episode. In this episode, we're going to celebrate Dia de los Muertos by discussing folklore from Mexico, urban legends, all that kind of stuff that came from our land.
Yeah.
And kind of shared with the audience.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
So many of them. I looked them up. There's a list.
Really?
Some that I didn't even heard of, and some that we know from people telling us.
Yeah.
Our families might have told us.
The really popular ones.
Yeah.
The ones that are in every town.
Exactly. Yeah. So is there some that your parents or your grandparents told you, or did you just or were told by other people?
Well, it was always they use that. The chupacabras gonna get you if you don't go to sleep, or La Llorona's gonna get you if you don't
yeah, those are the big ones.
Yeah.
The big two. Which honestly, I kind of don't want to discuss a lot of them in this episode because I think we could dedicate a whole episode on
just
those,
them,
just
and all the stories and
there's so much lore on La Llorona and the Chupacabra.
There's even movies now. So.
Oh yes. Did you know that 2019 there were 2 movies released with La Llorona, which is funny?
I remember I had a class where we watched Spanish cinema.
Yeah.
One of the movies we had to watch was La Llorona from 2019, 2018.
Yeah.
I ended up watching the wrong one because there was 2 of them. So I'm I watched the one with
the politician, or was it with the one that's connected to The Conjuring?
The one that's connected to The Conjuring.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you had to watch the one with the politician.
Yes.
Oh
the
my
Spanish
god.
one. Yeah. So it was completely different story. So when I had to write the paper, the teacher was like, I think you watched the wrong one. I'll give you a 3 day extension. Yeah. Yeah, I was there.
that's that's
The Llorona
that's
lore.
funny. Oh my god. Oh my god. And like, what other like creatures have you like heard about? Like, with
Um,
through like Mexican like folktales. Yeah.
other creatures.
Yeah. Or like spirits, whatever. Anything, any legends.
I know witches are really popular in Mexico.
They are.
That's
I
like a big.
actually made big research on one of them, which I'll tell you later about later in the episode. But like any other ones, like
No, I'd say in my town where I'm from, witches are like the big popular ones. They're like, oh, this lady's a witch. Don't talk to her. Or,
They
like,
are.
This lady's a witch. Don't talk to her.
they are. I mean, there's like La Llorona, and like
Yeah.
she's technically witch in a way,
Is she? I don't know.
spirit
that's
witch,
witches.
kind of, sort of, maybe.
I'm trying to think. There is a story that I can't remember if it was my dad or my grandpa told me of. So in the town, this was like in the probably like 40s, 50s, when there was no like alarm clocks and stuff.
Yeah.
People would just have like that internal timer where you would just knew when you had to wake up.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he told me the story of this guy. I don't remember his name. I'm calling him Jose. So Jose,
Yeah.
he had this, people, they know when they have to wake up. So this one morning he wakes up, and typically when he would wake up, it was like 4 a.m. when it was still dark out and stuff like that.
When the roosters woke up. Yeah.
And a lot of the people in my town, they have farms and they harvest and they do a lot of that farm work. So they're up early, and usually people, like on the road, they see each other. They ride horses and stuff.
Yeah.
So this man Jose, he wakes up one morning. He gets his horse ready. He saddles him up, and my grandpa told me, my dad, I don't remember who it was. They told me that he would wait for his two other coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
So he would saddle up his horse, and then he would drink a coffee, wait for his coworkers to come up, so they could all ride horses down to the. It's called the El Plan, which is where they have all the open land and like people harvest and do things there.
Yeah.
So that day, he's like, he felt like they were taking a long time, and he was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get a head start. I'm gonna get going. So he said he told me that he was riding the horse, and that usually during his journey, his travel to the land, that the sun would come out, and he already knew like around what time because he had that internal clock again, as I mentioned. People back then were kind of smarter with that.
Self-efficient. Yeah.
So he was like riding the horse, and he was kind of confused because he was like the sun should have been up by now, and I should have seen someone by now.
Yeah.
During this like horse ride, so he was kind of confused, but he, trud along. People back then were like, they weren't as scared of stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
So he was going, and then he mentioned that. So on the way to the open lands, there's like a little hill that you have to climb over.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone would do it on horse. So then during that upper hill portion, the horse just started to like freak out, and he like didn't want to keep moving forward, and he was like, getting it to, he was like,
Andale,
yeah, go. And that the horse was just like, very anxious, and like the ears were up and stuff like that. So then he mentioned that while he was trying to do that, he felt like a gust of wind fly over him. Like if it were like a plane or something, like when you feel like that sensation of something flying over you.
Yeah.
He said he felt that. And then he was like, that's when he started getting worried, and he was like starting to panic. And then all of a sudden, the horse moved like probably a couple of feet forward, and then it stopped again and like froze. And that he heard like a woman screech, like a woman crying, like laughing at him, like, yeah, like over him.
Oh, shit.
And that he got scared, he paralyzed, he made the horse turn back. And that it was probably like 5 minutes later, the sun started coming out.
Okay.
That he was coming back. And like on his way, like literally like 5 minutes after that happened, that he was like taking the horse back like in a rush, the sun started to come out, and then he started seeing his two coworkers.
Okay.
Who were ready to meet him.
Huh.
And that I don't know, Jose couldn't explain what happened. I think my grandpa's the one that told me that story. Because it was like back then, when there was like no electronics and stuff.
Yeah, that's really weird. Yeah. Like, our grandparents always have the best stories because they always tell us about like stuff that like just cannot be explained at all.
Yeah, especially because there was no technology and things like that.
Wild, yeah. Yeah, I remember my grandma also told me a similar story with like, I think her it was either her father or her grandpa,
Mm-hmm.
where he I forgot what the offense led to that, but like I remember she said that he was walking down the street and he witnessed a dog
Mm-hmm.
like with like red eyes and all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said like as the story progressed, she said that like the dog actually had 3 heads,
Right.
and then she said it was some type of demonic dog. And then I did like my own little research on it,
Mm-hmm.
and I realized that what he saw was a hellhound.
Mm.
And based on the folklore, it's not in here, but like based on folklore, they said if you see a hellhound, that means that you're gonna die or your time of death is coming soon.
Right.
And it turns out that like her grandfather shortly died after,
Mm.
like he saw the hellhound, or after he claimed that he saw a hellhound,
Mm.
which is like it's really weird. Like it's just a type of
Yeah.
stuff that you just see, like
Can't really explain.
can explain, or like even if it's not true, or even if it's true or false, like it's still fun to like hear that type of stuff. Like,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. I have another one that's more current. Is so by where I'm from, there's a lot of like rivers and what's it called? Cascadas.
Yeah.
Where like
Waterfalls.
Waterfalls. Yeah,
Yeah.
waterfalls from up above. And there is this one. I can't remember what the name of the waterfall is called. I wish I could have remembered, but there's a specific name for it.
Legend of a Waterfall, like, or what?
Yeah, it's like a waterfall. I mean, it doesn't matter. But the point is, there's 3 of them, like next to each other, and probably it's like 4 feet deep. Like you can stand normally and you won't be like drowning or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, these people visited from the U.S. They visited the rivers, and they were swimming, and then all of a sudden, I think it was 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
One of them the other 3 saw that he got pulled down.
Really?
Yeah, pulled, and that
Ooh.
they started looking for him, and that he was nowhere to be found, and they didn't know what happened. Like it's not even deep. Like it was like 4 feet, 5 feet,
Really?
and that they spent hours looking for him and stuff, and that they
fuck?
didn't find him. There was another instance where the same thing happened. Someone got dragged. I think it was a teenager. It wasn't someone that young, but they got dragged. Same thing. Couldn't find them. But then a couple of days later, someone showed up. I don't know if they're to look for the kid or whatever, but they found them like nestled by a rock, which was super easy. Like anyone could have found them there. But in that, yeah,
Wow.
I don't know. I can't remember what it's called, but it is online because I researched.
Is it the Iguazu Falls?
No,
What about the Nauyaka waterfalls?
no, it's nothing. It's nothing.
No.
It's nothing creepy like that.
Okay.
It's like a regular name.
It's just regular.
Yeah. I mean, we can
Yeah.
move on. If
Yeah,
I
we
find the
can-
name, I'll let you.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
Yeah, we can look it up later.
Yeah.
If anything, we'll put it like on the screen, the name of it.
Oh, I think it's called El Salto.
El Salto.
Yes.
Oh, I've heard something like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Just somewhere where.
And there's been 2 deaths there.
Well, yeah. If the place called El Salto, I assume
Yeah.
that some people
I
died by
don't know-
jumping off or
I
something.
don't know who pulls them down there, but somebody pulls them down in the water and they can't
Yeah.
get out. But as I mentioned, the water's not even that deep. So
Yeah, just
there's-
4 feet. It's
yeah.
shallow,
Mhm.
which is some scary movie type of shit. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some paranormal. Stuff
Yeah,
going on
something has to happen. But yeah, for me, okay, so I made research on one that my grandma told me about, one that I
Okay.
grew up with, or many kids might have grew up with. You know, El Cucuy?
there. El Cucuy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's definitely a classic.
Is that the one that looks like a bat?
Kind of, sort of. So I can describe it to you.
It's like
So in my research, it goes by names. It is called El Coco, El Cucuy, Cuca, or Cucu.
okay.
The name derives from various languages from Portugal and Galicia, and it can translate from to head, skull, or coconut.
Okay.
And when I was looking up, it actually like had pictures of just like coconut like facing towards you,
Uh-huh.
and then they tell you that like that's kind of an idea of how his face looks like
Okay.
a coconut like
It's
facing
like,
you.
like hairy and brown.
Yeah, he can be. Some people say he's hairy, he's brown, type of stuff.
He does have wings, right?
Not from the images I've
Or
looked
is
up.
that I'm confusing it with the chupacabra?
Chupacabra doesn't have wings, as far as I know.
Really?
I don't think so.
I got my monsters.
You're getting your monster made
There's
stuff.
so many of them.
There is. But yeah, but from where I've known him from is from nursery songs. You know, your grandma or mom probably might have like sing to you while you were like a kid.
Yeah.
I remember when I was 5, grandma will sing me a song about how if I don't fall asleep, El Cuckoo, he will come after me.
Uh-huh.
And like, yeah, that's pretty much like where the legend comes from. Like where he, so his description is that he has glowing red eyes, sharp teeth, and long claws like knives. So kind of like standard, kind of like
Yeah.
beast, kind of.
Typical monster. Yeah.
Yeah, typical monster, something you will like imagine in your head easily. And according to its legend, like it says that he goes after misbehaving children,
Right.
and that he typically hides under the bed or the closets.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pretty standard like story, you know, that will like parents will just tell their kids to like behave,
Right.
that kind of stuff.
No, yeah, like if si no te calmas, te agarra el cucuy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like kids in America had Santa Claus where he won't bring presents to you if you misbehave, but we have a Kukui where if you don't behave, you die.
Yeah.
It's
Very graphic.
classic Mexican parents, you
Yeah.
know?
If you don't behave good, you're gonna die.
Yeah,
Or the man's gonna get you.
yeah.
Either one.
No, but yeah, I remember.
What's another monster?
Another
Run
monster?
them down.
Okay, we can. So I did like deep dive, kind of, sort of, on 3 of them.
Okay.
The cookie was one of them. There's another one. It's kind of, it represents like the witches that you talk about in Mexico.
Right.
Her name is La Lechuza.
La lechuza.
Yes, the owl, basically.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So
They say that all the witches turn into owls. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Specifically this one as well. But what makes her different is that she is a giant owl. She has the body of an owl, but has the face of an old woman.
Oh.
So I don't know if that's common within like witchcraft or witches in
Yeah.
Mexico, but yeah,
Oh. I'm looking at pictures of her right now.
yeah, yeah. We'll also put some pictures on the screen. So editor note, just put them on the screen for the watchers.
La lechuza.
Yeah, and then it says that the legend of the lechuza is a cautionary tale from Mexico and South Texas.
Oh, she's American too.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she jumps between borders, you know. I mean,
Right.
if you can fly, then it should
yeah.
be easy. And she, we are told that she targets children,
Uh-huh.
drunk people,
Ah.
and people that harm others.
Okay.
So
Just the children bit that's kind of
yeah.
worrisome.
Well,
but
I'll tell you like a little bit of her lore, and you'll see why.
okay.
So the way that she hunts is that she lures her victims by crying like a baby. So she makes like crying baby noises, or she whistles at you, and they say that if you hear a whistle, then it's GG's for you, and she
wow.
will take you. She will swoop you up. She hides typically like outside the homes. So if
Okay.
you're inside your house and you hear a whistle and you step out, she'll be there waiting for you.
Oh, that's creepy.
She'll also just wait on like rooftops, the type of stuff, or like just trees if you're in the woods or something like that. You know.
Okay.
Her origin has different variations, but one of the most common ones is that she was wronged by villagers and they've killed her children or child, and then or that a drunk man actually killed her child, which is why she goes after drunks.
Right.
And then another variation is that she was the one killed by the villagers. So, and that her whole origin is that like the reason that she takes people, children, and drunks and like just horrible people is because that's her way of getting revenge on those villagers.
Okay.
You know, she's like the Llorona lost her children.
They're all getting revenge. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's like taking their children and then she's killing drunks because a drunk might have killed her child.
Right.
And then like horrible people from her village killed her in one variation. So that might explain why she has no tolerance for horrible people.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, so that's kind of the gist of her. I have a picture on Doc, and it's just yeah.
Yeah, she looks.
Oops.
Creepy looking for real.
Yeah, and it's just an owl slowly changing into a woman.
Creepy.
Yeah, it is really creepy. That one I did not know about. And
Yeah. I've heard of her, but I didn't know her lore. I have heard the name before.
yeah, I've never heard of La Lechuza, honestly, which is interesting.
She's not as popular, but yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely not as popular. Some of these are not very popular.
What's surprising though is White Texas. Why did she go to Texas?
Well, and in big not misconception, but like one stereotype of people that live in Texas is that people drink a lot in Texas.
Okay.
Kind of, sort of the same for Mexicans. We be going to family gatherings, and there's everyone's drinking their Coronas or Modelos there.
Yeah, they have a baby shower, and there's
yeah,
it's like a whole adult party.
Yeah, so it's very common in like Mexico and in Texas because Texas is like kind of a mini Mexico within the United States. So I can kind of see how she would want to like, I don't know, take a detour to Texas and like kill some people along the way.
Yeah, broaden her range of
exactly
who she punishes.
Expand her horizons.
Yeah.
Kind of. So another one that I've researched. This one's actually really cool.
Okay.
Kind of. His name is El Charro Negro.
Oh, yeah, that sounds kind of badass.
He's kind of our Mexican version of the headless horseman.
Okay.
Kind of, yeah. Except that he has his head attached with a big sombrero. So according to the legend, he's a tall and elegant man with he's kind of just like as a mariachi man, kind of sort of, and
I'm seeing pictures of him now.
Yeah, and yeah, you'll see, and then he just wears a black suit, with his like, and he rides on the horse. Mm-hmm. So many say that the folktale originated in like remote places in Mexico, like Veracruz, Puebla, and Hidalgo. Uh-huh. And it is told that El Charro Negro is a horseman that appears at dusk in the streets of Mexico, and he comes up to pedestrians and offers gold to them. So he might sound like a really cool guy.
He looks like a normal person.
In some variations.
Okay,
in this version that he like comes up to people and gives gold.
Yeah.
He just looks like a regular man.
Okay.
That just appears in dusk, and like some say that he was a very poor man, but he liked to dress like really well. Mm-hmm. He liked to dress nice to the point where like if he had to choose between eating or dressing nice, he would dress nice.
Okay.
And he was poor, and the reason that he comes out to people and offers them gold coins is like so those people don't have to suffer like how he did through poverty. And but there's another version which is like
kind of sounds like a superhero right now.
A little bit. Funny enough, do I have it here? So I found like an article of him in the Villain Phantom Wiki.
Oh, okay.
And so when I click the link, there's like a picture of Darkseid from Marvel DC Comics, and I just scroll through and then he's there. So he might, I don't know.
Maybe he's a super villain. He doesn't sound like a villain though. He's giving out free money.
Yeah, but there's another version of him that's pretty much the exact opposite of him.
Okay.
So it's another tale where he's actually a demonic figure with red eyes, and his sombrero covers his face. And there are some pictures of him that I saw where he's drawn like he's what's it called? He's drawn like the Grim Reaper a little bit. And what he does is that he's a demonic figure. He wears a sombrero. He actually engages in friendly conversations with men, which is really weird. Like, I don't know, if I was a man and I see like, I don't know, a skeleton riding a fucking horse, like, I would just, I don't know, run away, I guess. I don't know what I would do. I would not engage on a conversation with him.
So what does he tell him in this conversation?
I actually do not know. It just says that he's pretty friendly with men.
Okay.
But he prefers women. And what he does is that when he interacts with women, he seduces them into convincing them to run away with him. And that some people say that there's no specifics of what he does to the woman. It's just that, like, it just might not be good, Right. Because, I mean, he's a demonic figure, and he's taking other women with him to who knows where.
Yeah.
So, honestly, this is pretty interesting. Like, I would honestly dedicate a whole episode on him.
Yeah.
In the future.
Cool.
Yeah, he sounds really cool. Yeah. He does, yeah. And, like, yeah, those are, like, the three main, like, legends that I've research for this
Mm-hmm.
because like to lack of time, like we can't go over to every single
Yeah.
legend.
Over,
I mean, there's
'cause
some.
there's a lot.
There's a lot. Like there's like La Nahuala. You
I
ever
have
heard
heard
of?
of that, but I
Yeah.
don't know what
Like
the power of their lore.
the Lord. I think she's also a witch, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure.
Like,
There's a whole animated movie on her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually watched it as a kid when with my mom.
Huh.
Yeah, and it's a pretty interesting story. It really is.
What is it?
I think she's kind of like. Well, let me look her up.
Leyenda de la Naguala.
Nahuala. Yeah,
Okay. She kind of looks like La Llorona a little bit.
yeah. She's actually kind of like kind of similar in many ways with the Nahuala. I think she lost her like children as well.
Okay.
I don't know what's with all these like Hispanic women losing their children. You know.
Oh, yeah. Something common back then. I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Let's see the origin. The legend of Nahuala comes from pre-Columbian indigenous culture, where figures like her had superhuman strength, control over the elements.
Oh.
So I guess she was the avatar.
She's Storm.
For real, she's Storm.
Yeah.
And then there's this one. This one was actually also pretty interesting. It's called El Sombreron,
Oh.
and he sounds similar from El Charro Negro,
Uh-huh.
which I thought he was. For a second, I thought they were the same like thing at first, but apparently he's a goblin.
Oh.
Yeah, a goblin that's obsessed with like braiding hair or something like that.
Oh.
I don't know. I only looked into him like for a couple seconds.
I just looked him up. He does look a little bit like El Charro Negro.
Yeah, but apparently he's a goblin, not a spirit or anything like
He
that.
kind of looks weirder.
Weird. Yeah, he did.
Ironically, he looks creepier than the skull. And,
Actually,
that's interesting.
yeah. And then another one was Si Guapa.
Si Guapa? I don't know that one.
Actually, let me look her up again. I saw some pictures. I think she's also kind of. She's like in that archetype of La Llorona.
Yeah. Oh. That looks
Yeah.
creepy. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
Visual
no.
aid. We'll
I
add
also
visual
looked
aid.
up the pictures. Yeah, she just chills by a river. I think. Yeah, Siwapa is a mythological creature from Dominican folklore that says that to inhabit the mountains and forests of the Dominican Republic.
Oh.
So all of these are valid for like a deep dive. Like this whole episode, like we just wanted to discuss about
Mhm.
like the folklore, the idea of folklore alone. You know.
Yeah, especially around Day of the Dead when everyone's celebrating and stuff.
Yeah.
Does your family do anything?
So unfortunately, like my family is Catholic,
Uh-huh.
so I've
Well,
never.
mine is too, but
Yeah, well, mine's like a whole other
Right.
level compared to other families where we really don't celebrate like Day of the Dead or Halloween.
Mhm.
So that kind of, I only gone like trick or treating like once in my life, and so, that kind of got stolen from me from my childhood.
Right.
But my parents like, what's it called like the reason for that is because they do not like to celebrate they don't like celebrating death
Mhm.
pretty much, because you kind of are in like Halloween and like Dia de los Muertos where
Yeah.
you're celebrating people dying, kind of, sort
Mhm.
of. I personally don't agree, because the whole idea of Dia de los Muertos is that you're celebrating like the people that have passed in your family,
Yeah.
and you're making like those altars or shrines for them, because in a way to not to show that you have not forgotten them.
Yeah.
Which I actually think that's a really like wholesome and like really sweet thing to do.
Yeah.
for like any type of culture, really, to celebrate. Not to celebrate. I keep saying celebrate, but like to
Like
remember,
honor,
and
yeah.
remember, like those people that meant a lot to you, but they're not here anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the movie Coco does a really good job of like.
I feel like the popularity grew because of that.
Yeah,
Like,
you
I
think
didn't
so?
hear about it much until the movie. My mom was like, "Yeah, we actually do that every year. They celebrate." And they're also Catholic, my family, but they do celebrate, and they go to like the graveyards, and they take my past relatives who passed away, like their favorite food or drinks or things that they enjoyed when they were alive.
Yeah, you see, we don't do anything like that in my family. I
Mm.
just don't understand like what's with my family being so fixated on like that being such a negative.
Hmm.
I genuinely don't get it.
Right.
You know,
Right.
because death can be a beautiful thing. You know,
Yeah.
it can be. Like, so obviously we don't want to die. You
Yeah.
know, and then like I don't know, just something.
So going back to the movie Coco, you know how they have their spirit animals? What are they called?
Uh, alebrije.
Alebrijes.
Yes.
Right. So for you, what would be your alebrije?
Funny enough, in middle school we actually made an alebrije
Uh-huh.
for like an art project.
Okay.
Like we put together like we like made it by hand. We like stuffed like newspapers inside of like wires and like paper mache, all that type of stuff. What I made was for those who don't know, an alebrije is basically like a not a statue,
It's like a spirit guide.
a spirit guide, and it's combined with different animals.
Mm-hmm.
And we how people like I don't know like honor those animals is by making them like
Yeah, creating them.
creating them like paper mache, like
Yeah,
type of
sometimes
stuff.
they use like clay. Sometimes
Clay.
they carve wood.
Yeah, like little statues, or what are they called? Like I don't know, little statues. What
Um,
I don't know, displays. I guess I don't know.
yeah. They're just little statues. I forgot.
Yeah, but anyways, in my case, I made a combination of a polar bear and an alligator.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just thought
polar bear and an alligator.
yes.
Okay, you're gonna have to do. Describe this figure.
Describe. Okay, so it's the head and the main body of a polar bear, and then it just has the legs and the tail of an alligator.
Ah,
Which now that I think of it, it's not that creative.
right.
I just thought that was badass when I was a kid. I was like 13 at the time, so
That's interesting.
yeah. So
So he black and white like a
polar bear.
like a
It was
or
just it was white like a polar bear, and it just like had like I think I put scales on its back or something like that.
That sounds kind of cool. Actually.
Yeah, yeah.
With the
like,
scales and
scales on the back, and then
So
a green tail, and then green like little legs.
okay.
Legs, yeah.
So you would say that would be your spirit guide.
I guess, yeah. Which is kind of funny. Actually, the movie that I told you about, Nahuala, there's a character that is an aljibre.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's like a combination of like a dragon or something else.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, let me look him up. Yeah. Now, like,
Trying to think of what
I think
mine
I'm-
would be.
apparently, like, the movie Nahuala spawned like a whole like franchise of like movies of like animated movies of like legends. Because they made a sequel of like La Llorona, and then like with like the mummies of like
Guanajuato,
Guanajuato. Yeah, Las
Yeah.
Momias de Guanajuato, which is where I'm
Yeah.
from, Guanajuato.
where they would wrestle. the
Oh my
wrestlers,
god!
El
Yes,
Santos.
they had like there was a really old movie with I think El Santo, yeah,
Yeah,
Santo and Blue Demon.
yeah, Blue Demon.
Yeah,
they would
Blue
wrestle
Um,
mummies.
the
of
mummies.
Guanajuato.
Yeah. You know, we get cool
Crazy,
shit. We
yeah.
get really cool shit in
We need to
Mexico.
bring those back.
Yeah, really, really do. Like they should make a remake on that. It's so it would be so.
I've never
dope.
seen them, but my parents always talk about them. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what mine would look like. My alligator.
Uh,
I feel like. So I had the first pet I ever had were little bunnies,
yeah.
which were wild animals. They were not supposed to be captured, but we.
Yeah. Same for me actually. My first pet was also a rabbit in
Yeah.
Mexico.
And it died after like 2 weeks, but
Oh God.
I think it would be that, and some combination of like a fish, because all I've had are like fishes, like pet fishes.
Okay.
So I think like a combination of like a rabbit and a fish would be mine.
Rabbit and the fish.
Mhm.
Sounds pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah.
I can see it. Like maybe ahead of the rabbit, and then like I don't know,
The ears and then like the rest of the body is like
a fish maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, I see. Here's an example of like the aljibre from the movie.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's like a dragon and like I think what is that, like
It looks like a ladybug.
ladybug back or something like that. I'll put a picture
Uh-huh.
on it.
So it's let me see it.
Yeah.
It looks kind of like those long-necked dragons, like a giraffe.
Kind of.
It has
Yeah.
a long tail, and then it has the back of a ladybug.
And it's
For those
very
of you
colorful.
listening
It's
in
very
audio.
colorful. Yeah. Once because like when the teacher made us do like an aljibre for what's it called, for like the art project,
Mhm.
I made it like a little too accurate for like a polar bear and an alligator. You know, I had like it was mostly white and green.
Right. And
But now that I know what an actual alligator is, like they look so colorful.
Definitely colorful, yeah.
Yeah, and like now I kind of like regret how like I designed it.
You're
Yeah.
gonna have to redo one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Bring it to the pod.
Yeah, I did my spirit animal kind of bogus.
Yeah.
It made it look boring. Nah, but yeah, like, and then I mean, there's other folktales that we can talk about. Like, there's the Luz Mala.
Luz Mala? I don't know. I've never heard that one.
Yeah, you never heard of it? It's literally just like little lights that like. Let me look it up.
Luz Mala, and is that from Mexico too, or is it?
Yeah, it's also all of these are from Mexico. Luz Mala. Well, not all of them.
I'm sure there's like different interpretations of each one in like different countries. I'm sure. Like
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, are there any folktales from Mexico that we are from the U.S. but like were changed? You know if there are any? I mean, we talked about like
well, like, you know, that's kind of like the Weeping Woman, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's kind of
pretty much
Americanized there.
Yeah, and now that I'm thinking about it, like, Kukui might just be a skinwalker.
Really?
If you think, I mean, I seen a picture of it and like kind of looks like a skinwalker to me.
That's interesting. When sometimes I'd be scrolling through TikTok and they'd be showing me like creepy videos for some reason, always like near midnight, and it's always like, oh, this dog is a skinwalker. And it's like
it's just a fucking dog.
It's like a regular looking dog. Sometimes they look kind of humanish for like a moment, and then their eyes turn reddish. I'm sure it's fake, but
yeah, definitely. I mean, there was also that thing with Chupacabra where there was just mass hysteria around there because there were like a bunch of killings with their goats, you know, because and then like people would just like people found like dead dogs and stuff like that. And we're like, that's a Chupacabra right there, and like and then like I don't know.
They just wanted something to like be like, oh, this is what it is. Like they wanted something to blame or like
something to point the finger at.
Yeah,
kind of
be like, oh, that's what this is.
Which I mean,
create a monster.
Which I mean, that's typically with like all of these like urban legends.
I wonder if that's how all these legends came to be. Like, oh, kids started to go missing. It must be some paranormal spirit or entity that's taking them. Then
Yoran is created.
Yeah,
and then there's also like legends are also created to like I don't know like to scare people pretty much into doing things like El Cucuy. He goes after misbehaving kids. So probably parents just parents just made up this so like they can get their kids to behave.
Right.
Same thing for La Lechuza, which it might be like I said before, like it's a cautionary tale to maybe scare off kids from going out in the dark. Yeah. And also for men to not like wander around drunk. That kind of stuff. So like
it's kind of funny because going back now to what we first talked about in The Wizard of Oz, the whole story of Dorothy is that she shouldn't leave home and she should stay home because if you leave home, you're gonna have to fight a witch and then deal with that's why she's like, there's no place like home. So it's kind of like circling back.
I've never seen The Wizard of Oz.
So you've never seen it?
No, so you're like feeding me new information.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a reboot coming up soon.
Yeah.
With Ariana Grande and I don't know who the actress playing the witch is, but but I mean, I've gone to like a play for school like that did The Wizard of Oz,
and it's basically I don't know. To me, it seemed like that was the message they're trying to relay. I don't know back then when
to
the film
obey.
Came out, listen to your parents. Don't try to seek an adventure or whatever. Which is kind of what it is with the Llorona too. Don't go out.
Yeah.
Because she's gonna get you.
She's gonna get you. Yeah. I mean, she doesn't only get kids. Funny enough, she gets men too. Yeah. I mean, she's kind of like the opposite.
Well, there's like different versions of her. I know one.
So of them, many. Yeah.
There was one where like she was in love with like a prince or something or like a king, and then she had kids, and then the kings had the kids drowned because I guess it was outside of his marriage or something.
Something like that. Yeah. There was one where like she got cheated on by a man, which is why she hunted men down, and then after like she found out she got cheated on by that man, she drowned her kids. Yeah. Which is like I don't know the logic on that.
Some of them are similar. There's like one little teeny difference in some of them. But usually it's always like either someone drowned her kids or she drowned her kids.
I mean, that's the thing with urban legends. Like they like change as people tell them. Yeah. Over time. Like it's like one big game of telephone if you think about it. Just like one person will make a story up and then he'll tell another person,
Yeah.
and the next thing you know,
Something
that
gets
like
added.
that story travels from Mexico all the way to the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah, or to Texas. Yeah,
Or it's yeah.
yeah. So,
I was
wrap it up.
wondering for next week if you have anything planned, or
For next
I
week.
actually had something, or not next week, the next.
Um,
I don't know if you're familiar, but there's like a lot of paranormal-ish elements in music,
in
and
music,
like different legends within like songs and stuff that I grew up knowing of.
really,
So I feel like that'd be something cool to explore.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so one thing that I know that one thing about like that I know about like of ghosts being like related to music
Mm-hmm.
is actually from Ghost Adventures. I learned that from.
Mm.
You probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Bobby Mackey's Music World.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's yeah. I don't know if that location's like haunted or anything. I can like make research on it and make it on
Yeah.
a future episode. Doesn't have to be next week.
I
But-
know there's some songs that are cursed.
Cursed, really.
Yeah, cursed songs, and that have like
Would you want to lecture me about this next week?
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
for sure.
I've lectured you about some cryptids and
I-
like some urban legends. This episode.
I have a lot of stories for cursed songs that like apparently if you listen to it something happens to you,
Okay.
things like that. Yeah.
I'm excited to hear about that.
Yeah.
And hopefully you guys are also excited to
Well,
hear
that will
that.
be on the next podcast.
That'll be in the next episode, which who knows when that will be.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
We'll try to get it out there soon.
definitely. But yeah, I think that is it for us.
Hopefully you guys learned a little bit about Day of the Dead and like the lores of Latin America and Mexico and some of the things we grew up with, learning and stories we've heard.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun, like talking about this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
like with you. Like I don't know, I like weird stuff.
Learning about the monsters
Yeah,
that haunted us.
yeah. I'm telling you, like, there's still so many that we gotten through it.
I'm sure there's like new modern ones too. That's like, oh, if you look at your phone for too long,
Yeah, I mean
it's
they
gonna
made
go through your
movies.
screen.
I mean they made movies on it. Like there's a movie called Countdown.
Oh,
Yeah, where like someone downloads an app, and like, and it gives you like a countdown, and like when that countdown reaches, like you die.
oh,
Yeah,
creepy.
and then there's I mean they made a movie like I guess that's how they do urban legends now. They just make movies,
Yeah.
made up stuff. Like I mean there's Smile,
Mhm.
like a smile that kills you.
Yeah.
Which I mean there's more than that. You know, it's like
It's like a whole thing. Yeah.
it's a whole thing.
No spoilers for the new movie.
Yeah. Okay.
But
But yeah. All right. Is there anything else you want to say or add to it?
just Happy Day of the Dead, I guess.
Yeah. Feliz Dia de los Muertos. And I know my mom is gonna raise an eyebrow when I say that, when she hears me say
No.
that. Oh, have you shared it with your parents or anything in this podcast?
No, they don't speak English. I mean, I told them like, oh yeah, I'm gonna share this story that you told me, and I'm like, oh okay.
Yeah. That's funny. But yeah, a lot of people a lot of my family members want to listen to it, but like I told them that yeah, it's in English because our demographic is mostly English based.
Yeah.
But like I mean, they still try to support me, just like I don't know, play it
Yeah.
to give us views.
Yeah. That's
Or something. But yeah, so that's the end of this episode of the Don't Look podcast. Make sure to follow us on YouTube, and I'm trying to get us on Spotify, but Spotify's being weird, so I'll let you guys know when that happens. But for now, just give it a like and subscribe on the channel, and yeah, that's the end of the podcast.
This has been Ulises.
This has been Kevin, and remember, don't look back.